Hello, world. Imani David coming at you. I'm going to drop a poem on you today called Black Doves. It's a poem that I wrote in 1999. It's also available in the poetry anthology 1969 that I've spoken about before on this channel. It's a spoken word piece that I used to recite when I was doing the poetry circuit. And I wrote this poem when I was living in Barcelona, Spain in those years. Going through a lot, but don't get me wrong, my life has been blessed. So even though I was going through a lot in those years, and maybe still am, yeah, my life has been one huge blessing. So I'm not complaining at all. I really am not complaining. Thank God for that. But the poem, as I said, it's called Black Doves. It's a spoken word piece, and so I'll just get right into it and share it with you. Black Doves. How is it you say, pay, why should I? While you stood idly by, watched the genocide, heard Africans cry, and branding iron sigh with blood cause black feet sought to fly. I ask why. What have we ever done to feel the pains of your chains, whips, and blast of your guns? What have we become? What was my life, my origin, before the oppression? Now, white man's food I shun, for with same hands he castrated our sons, then clasped them together and begun, Our Father, which art in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, you said, and thank you for the extra slave you brought my way yesterday. So now today, how could I pray? What could I possibly say but to say that the spirit of the African slave knows no grave but lives forever, and never we need iron collars, demonic dollars, or whips of leather to keep us together. For in the skies above, light black doves we soar, while beneath tumultuous white waters roar. And I shall forever be, as the spirit moves me, free throughout eternity. Black Doves. Okay. As you can tell, I'm sitting in the car, you know, thinking about a lot of things. Listening to, heard about Kanye West saying 400 years of slavery was a choice. Things like this. I'm not even going to comment on that buffoonery. I just can't get over the fact that I heard it. People are talking about it, but I won't countenance it. I'm going to leave that alone. Dude is twisted. Something's wrong with his brain. You even look at his face, he looks as though he's unhinged, but I'm not going to get into a rant about that. I'm going to try to keep this video under 6 minutes. I don't know, guys. I've been asked in the past, about poetry. Folks email me, they talk to me about it, they text me. And it's really weird when people come up to my car and take pictures of me in the car, and take pictures of my license plate. I'm not even driving, I'm just parked here. Like, what's good? Anyway, poetry is a funny thing, guys. It's hard to find a place for poetry in the US, maybe in the world. It's usually an add-on. I don't think you're going to make any money doing it. I know Russell Simmons tried to change that. I don't know if it was successful or not. I put poetry in my novels in the beginning of every novel, and I try to find a place to stick it in. I don't do the poetry circuit anymore. I don't do spoken word venues anymore, but I still share the poetry with you, if you like it. And hopefully it finds fertile soil and helps you to think about things. So with that, I'm going to leave. I hope you guys do well. I hope you find happiness, and shut down the nonsensical social media, shut out the noise. I went through a difficult time in 1998, and which is why I moved to Barcelona, Spain. I didn't think I would move back to the US. I was done with the United States. And a funny thing happened. I moved out to Spain, and even though I knew Spanish, I didn't really understand the Catalonian Spanish, and that was a large part of what was spoken in Barcelona. So the result was, I didn't understand a lot of what was being said around me, and I didn't understand a lot of what was on the television, even though my next door neighbor was on TV. I remember seeing my next door neighbor on TV, so I had a lot of celebrities in the building, but I just couldn't connect with the culture, and the culture couldn't connect with me. And so the result was I was a little bit cut off. And it didn't bother me at all. I thought it was fine. But what happened in being cut off is that all the noise and all the clatter and clutter that's in our pop culture didn't get in. And I was able over time to hear my own voice emerge. My own thoughts came to the forefront, and I sort of rediscovered who I was. And in any event, I came back to the US a few years after that, when I just couldn't remember what it was I was trying to get away from anymore. And I've been here ever since. And I don't know, another poem comes to mind actually. It's called Cut Roses. I remember I wrote this one at in my head. I put this one together in my head at my grandmother's funeral in 1994. It just struck me as odd that people who had never given my grandmother flowers were throwing flowers on her coffin, And so, I guess I'll give you that now. It was too short to make a video on it by itself, so Cut Roses. The thought of it all is so painfully true, that I would give to you the roses I slew and say, a token of my love, I will never hurt you. But in truth there be no guise. Cut roses do indeed symbolize beauty today, someday nullifies. Like cut roses, love too must die. And when the two are no longer twain, when the rose dies but the thorns remain, like the budded ones that for love were slain, clipped in their fullness and delivered in pain. Cut roses. Okay guys, I'm done. It's over 8 minutes, and I think someone's going to come tap on my window soon. Have a good weekend, guys. Take care.